Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to be walking you through some secret Fortnite settings that will instantly improve your gameplay. Now, let me warn you guys, this is not a general settings guide. I do a video like that every single season where I basically go through different graphic options, visual settings, colorblind modes, all that good stuff, but I already made one of those. What I'll instead be covering today are really specific settings that pros hide, and these will include things like double movement, auto pickup weapons, custom crosshairs. I'm even going to show you a really minor game setting that, if applied properly, will actually make a huge difference in your editing speed. It's crazy! Thus, drop a like down below if you enjoy and if this video helps you out. Also, please subscribe. A lot of you are not subbed, but without further ado, let's get right on into it. Alright, so the first setting we are going to dive into is the disable pre-edit option. By now, most of you guys should know how this works. I know it's a little confusing, but when you have it off, then that gives you the ability to pre-edit, but when you have it on, that means you are not able to pre-edit. Pre-edits are disabled! Up until recently, I pretty much always said that it was preference whether you want to have it on or off. Obviously, pre-editing your wall in a fight is extremely useful, especially in team game modes, but as I just said, I really never recommended to strictly turn it on or off. Well, boys and girls, my opinion on this matter has officially changed ever since a user named EastElephant70, I believe? EastElephant705, ever since this guy made an extremely interesting post on the topic. Essentially, what he found was when he had the disable pre-edit option on, aka he could not pre-edit his builds, he found that it kind of hindered his edit speed. If you guys actually keep your eye on the on-screen keyboard that he put, notice it's in the top left, it shows what keys he hits at the exact same time that he hits them. You can see that after he builds his cone and floor, he presses his E key to edit, yet for some odd reason, his edit key does not register and nothing happens. Many people, including myself, might attribute this to either bad ping or just bad timing. That is what I always thought when I originally used this setting. Disable pre-edits on. However, East Elephant actually explains that neither is the case. He's on 30 ping, and I mean, the proof is in front of you. He shows different timings as well as different distances. All it comes down to is that the game is basically not registering his keystroke because it's too quote-unquote fast. Wait a second, Jerian! Isn't that just a timing issue then? Not exactly, little Timmy. You see, when East Elephant went into his settings and turned the disable pre-edit option off, that again means he can pre-edit. What he found was that not only were his edit keystrokes actually registering this time, but they also registered from even further away. From simply turning pre-edits on from off or disable pre-edit option off, he straight up fixed the edit issue and was able to edit way faster. Now guys, I'm not gonna lie, I actually did suspect this for a while now. I used to have the disable pre-edit option on, and when I recently switched it off about 1 or 2 seasons ago, I pretty much instantly noticed that my edits were way cleaner, they seemed faster, and just, in general, more like free. In fact, because I'm a man of science, or kind of bad Fortnite science, I went ahead and tested this myself with a specific edit I always used to mess up, and look at what I found. You see how after I flip the ramp edit, I go to edit the wall, I press my E key, yet absolutely nothing happens. This would be a normal issue if I was swapping to my weapon and trying to shoot after an edit, but I'm making 2 edits in a row. There should be little to no delay on them, not to mention I'm 0 ping, yet even with good crosshair placement, the edit does not go through. Essentially, what is happening is that if you have disable pre-edits on, which I currently do not, you want to have it off like this, but if you have it on, it basically restricts, and look, you can see there's no option to pre-edit. It pretty much is restricting the range at which you can edit from. It's also restricting the speed. Oh, that was a placement issue, can't lie. But like, even on 0 ping, and with the best timing in the world, that, I guess, bug, or it might just be something that's like unintended, but happens because, you know, you can't edit, or pre-edit rather, your whole sort of range is restricted, and those milliseconds, like I've been trying to say, they matter. Just think about you wall replacing, and then instantly editing. If you mess that up a lot of you might have timing errors, but there's still gonna be scenarios, such as what I showed, which is this ramp flip, which a lot of the time the edit does not go through solely because you have disable pre-edits on and there's just a random game-breaking bug. Like, it's crazy. So ladies and gentlemen, if it has not been clear already, make sure you go to your settings, go to the game settings tab over here, console, PC, no matter what platform or input, and turn off the disable pre-edit option. This is what it should look like when you have a build out. You have the ability to pre-edit it, and you know, you might mess up at the beginning, maybe if your crosshair placement is not that good. That's kind of why I had it off originally. Oh, come on though. Look at this. I don't get the bug. Have disable pre-edits off or pre-edits on. It's useful for actually pre-editing people, you know, like this. And it's also useful for just having more range on your edits, editing pretty much faster, and just having more control. Your piece will be better. It should, you know, be faster. It's just amazing. And I'm gonna stop stalling. So turn pre-edits on or disable pre-edits off. Why is it so confusing? The next setting I want to mention is one that's not actually in-game. I lied to you. And that is double movement. Double movement, like I've said countless times in my videos, is not only one of just the most useful third-party applications you can use in Fortnite, but it's also officially allowed by Epic. So stop asking if it will get you banned. It won't. In my last double movement video, the one from about a year ago, I'm pretty sure I recommended that everyone use wooting. Wooting at the time was extremely simple. I mean, it still is, but it was by far the easiest to use. It had little to no input delay, and from what I remember, Keys to X was still on the first version, or had just put out the second one. The second one is goated. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, if we fast forward to today, I can say hands down, without a doubt, I recommend all you guys to switch to Keys to X. And no, this is not an ad or anything. Let me hop in and explain why. Guys, I kind of lied. I first want to show how you can actually get Keys to X. I also want to show the best Keys to X settings, some other important options such as how to stop your game from tabbing out. But regardless, I will have this link down below. It's on a website called nbenko.nl. You can just type in Keys to X, and yeah, it is the first. You guys can't see it. It's the first link at the top, Keys to X. Like I said, this is version 2. This is what it looks like. And all you're going to do to download it is at the top where it says download. You're gonna hit that. You're gonna click the download here and Benko, and it should download in the bottom left. Keys2x.exe. We'll run the setup, agree, install. It installs extremely quickly. Let's close that out. And look, now you have Keys to X input, the version 2, which I have never showed on my channel. It's goated. These are the settings that affect your movement. You have diagonal up, strafe, and diagonal down. I'm not really gonna explain them because Keys to X has a really cool method to get all the different and kind of best settings for it. But what I recommend you do is you go over to where it says options, click on that, and where it says usage type, go to Fortnite Advanced. From here, you're going to want to do a few different things. One of them is for confined to window/game. This is the auto tabbing out fix, which if you guys have never used it, sometimes when you're playing Fortnite and you have a double movement software up, it will actually tab out of your game and you can't really move or do anything until you tab back in. So what this does, if you click the auto tabbing out fix, you just enable it and then of course hit apply, is it will make it so that basically does not happen. It will not let you tab out by accident, but you still can tab out normally. And yeah, it's kind of amazing. And on top of that, the other thing you're going to want to enable is down where it says workarounds, go to Fortnite bus jump fix and enable that as well. That will fix it, so if you ever jump out of the battle bus, it's not going to let you just not move, which happens a lot for double movement. Now you can glide down normally, everything will be perfect. Outside that, you can go to your settings and you can start as administrator. I do not. You can also put it on dark mode. D-pad and buttons you do not want to press. The only thing you really have to worry about is the left stick, which is what I showed before. Oh, and this is also important. If you go over to the right where it says binds, click that, a little thing will pop out. Just put your movements on whatever you use. So I use WASD, but if you use ESDF or something, put in your movement keys. And then depending on your preference, you can put put the SOCD on SIP. The guy that I love, Slyjack, he made a video explaining them. Apparently SIP makes it so if you hit your left and right movement key at the same time, I guess SIP will make it so you will continue in the direction you first hit. Meanwhile, if you have it on neutral, you'll just kind of go straight, or like, you know, you'll move neutrally. It won't go one direction or the other. So try out both. I have always used neutral, but I might just try SIP because Slyjack does. And then the last thing before we go into game, if you go to the Keys2X website, which is where we had the download link, and then you go to the pro settings at the top, what you can do is you can actually download, you see this down here? You can download any of your favorite pros' actual movement settings. Like, these are all their different Keys2X settings that you can literally just import into your Keys2X program. So for example, Epic Whale, I'll click on his name, you'll see all this stuff. It has his name, his country. It also has the different degrees that you can go and copy and paste. But what I recommend you do is you click the import tab on the bottom, just hit that. You'll see it's like a little download over here. And if you close out and you go back to Keys2X, on the top left, there's a little folder with a face. And what you can do is you can go, what you're actually supposed to do is go to your downloads, go to the Epic Whale link, what I just showed before, and double click that, boom. That's going to import it directly in. You can even hear the sound. And now you have Epic Whale's actual settings. Like, I go to left stick, and look, everything is done perfectly for me. Just please make sure that if you import a pro settings, go to the options and just reapply whatever has been changed. Because you can see auto tabbing out fixed was changed, so we'll have to apply that again. But I mean, it's pretty damn cool. You have all these different profiles. I have Boogas, I have Alex AUs. I can literally use whichever one I want, whenever I want, and it will change all their left stick stuff. His is a little lower on the diagonal up. But yeah, they're different profiles. Make sure you save them. Make sure all your options are correct. And basically, all you have left to do is just go into game, minimize this, load up Fortnite. To finish off your double movement, go to your Fortnite settings, go over, I guess first to your keybinds. And as you can see, or kind of not see, you're gonna want to unbind all your movement keys. Make sure there's no keys for any of them. You can just press the red X. Go ahead and apply that. And then in addition to that, which is under the mouse and keyboard setting tab, you're gonna want to go down below your mouse sensitivity and lock your input method as mouse. I hid my face for this because it's so important. Lock input method as mouse, turn this on and press apply. That is all you need to do, boys and girls. And now you have double movement like the pros. This is Epic Whale double movement. Ooh, how strong is it? Oh yeah, it's pretty strong. I don't know if it's as strong as Booga's. So I mean, use whatever one you like. You can try out any different pros. I personally recommend Booga's like I just showed. But yeah, now you got double movement. You won't be like this random guy crying. You'll instead be a pro and will shit on everyone. Yeah. Final two settings, even though, again, one of them is not an actual in-game Fortnite setting, we will begin with custom crosshairs. I made a video trying custom crosshairs out a few months ago. I actually used it through my monitor software, but at the time, a ton of pros were using it, and nobody really knew whether or not it was allowed by Epic. Well, boys and girls, a friend of mine on Twitter that actually knows people at Epic, he recently tweeted out saying that custom crosshair programs like HUDsite, they are officially against Epic's terms of service. Now, I don't think this means that they'll instantly get you banned if you load up a game. Don't take my word for it, obviously, but I don't think the anti-cheat will ban you since HUDsite even says themselves it is allowed by anti-cheats. In my opinion, what they're more so saying is that if they see any top-level pros or just anyone that's kind of big using different custom crosshairs, they will disqualify them from tournaments and most likely give them a 1 to 2 week ban. So yeah, it sucks, but I kind of get it. Epic does not want programs like that becoming big, not because they're third-party softwares. I mean, double movement is allowed and that's not through Epic's game, but more so because I guess they just hate custom crosshairs. Why, Epic? Why? Last setting of the video, which might be the most useful one for a lot of you guys, it is auto pickup weapons. Auto pickup weapons is a setting that I pretty much never liked. The way it works is whenever you run over a weapon, your character has to be on top of it. It will automatically pick it up and put it in your inventory. Because of this, and just because of how looting in Fortnite works, it's kind of annoying. Like, if you run over a body, you're gonna pick up a bunch of stuff you do not want. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have not used it since Chapter 1. Does anybody use it? Well, there is one person, and he goes by the name of G2Agers. Agers is by far one of the best North American pros, and he actually replied to me on Twitter. You know, I'm a little fanboy. He replied to me in a Twitter thread saying that the reason he can win so many 50-50s off spawn is straight up because of this setting. Now, what he was referring to is actually kind of funny. It's a tweet of him literally landing at Greasy Grove. He's 50-50ing a chest, and as he opens it, he pretty much steals everything inside. I'm talking the weapon, the mats, the ammo, even the damn gold, and he gets it all at the same time in like a quarter of a millisecond. At first glance, I cannot lie, I originally thought this was a macro. I personally use scroll wheel pickup, which is supposed to be the fastest way to pick up items, but even on hard 0 ping, I am not able to pick up everything at once like he can. I can only pick up one item at once, and I mean, it's a 50-50. Half the time I don't even get it. What I think Agers does is he most likely puts it on in the pregame lobby. He goes into his settings, enables auto pickup weapons, and essentially he will just land on the chest, position himself in a way where he's over the loot, so when the loot comes out, he scoops up absolutely everything in it, and then because he wins every 50-50, he'll eliminate whoever else is there, go into his settings, and change it back. It's genius! So yeah, go try that out. I know Agers is pretty low ping, but let me know how it works for you guys. But otherwise, those are all the secret settings. Drop a like and subscribe, and don't use them against me, please.